Better tie your hat on before you go in there.
The president's blowing the roof off.
Yeah, who's getting it now? Say, did you get me that seat for the fight?
The president's waiting for that coffee.
Okay, Mr. Pettigrew.
Our figures prove that a minimum average of 3 million cars must be built every year in order to maintain 21 million cars on the road. Heretofore, the Drake Motor Car Company has supplied 17 8/10% of the total.
Just a minute. I've been listening to you for over an hour, and all I've heard is a lot of statistics. You've all got statistic poisoning. In case you don't know it, this business is slipping. Fast. We're making better motor cars than we ever made when Father was alive. We're not selling them. Why?
But, Miss Drake, for the last 3 years...
That's the trouble with you. All I've heard is the last 3 years. Our problem is this year. And it's your business to sell cars. That's all. Oh, Cooper. Can I speak with you a moment, please?
Yes, Miss Drake.
How long have you been here?
16 days to be exact.
You like your work?
Oh, yes, indeed, very much. I've been trying to make an appointment with you to talk over a new sales promotion plan of my own.
Well, I haven't got time to go into that now. Suppose you come to my house to dinner tonight at 7:30. We talk about it then. That's all.
Thank you very much.
Attractive fellow, don't you think?
Pettigrew, you're an old snoop.
Yes, just a moment, please.
I want to see those advertising layouts as soon as they're ready.
Mr. Warren's waiting to see you.
Oh,
Mr. Logan wants to talk to you about the Peerless paint order.
I haven't time. Now, if you'll...
I'm sorry, Miss Drake has...
Wait a minute. Hello, Logan. I'll give you my decision tomorrow. Yeah.
Miss Drake, will you sign these, please?
Mrs. Brown is calling on you.
Mrs. Brown, never heard of her. Change the date on this one. The contract starts on the 15th.
She said to tell you...
Petty, why will you worry me with visitors?
Very well. She said to tell you Harriet. She went to school with you.
Harriet?
For you, Miss Drake.
Harriet Brown, of course. I suppose I'll have to see her. Well, tell her to come in. Send those out right away. That'll be all. Hello.
This way, please.
No. No, I won't consider it. Allison. Hello, Harriet. Now tell him to make me a better offer. This is a surprise.
I just couldn't go by without stopping in to see you.
Sit down.
I'm driving to Rochester all alone. Don't you think I'm brave?
Positively heroic. How well you're looking.
And so are you. Not a day older.
Oh.
Oh, I've got loads to tell you, and I want to hear all about you. Of course, I can't get over your running this enormous factory. Oh, I hope you're not busy.
Oh, no.
Hartley wants to know about that Caswell shipment.
Tell him to take that up with the branch manager. How's your husband, Tom?
You mean Dick?
Oh, Dick, yes.
He's fine. He's treasurer of the company now.
Is he? Let's see, there were 2 children, weren't there? Hello?
3. 2 boys and a girl.
2 boys and a girl. What? No, not yours, Bradley. Yeah? Well, I told you what to tell him. Why didn't you do it? Well, that's my answer, and that's final. 2 girls and a boy. I'm so sorry. Well, I mean about the telephone. Where are you staying?
At the hotel. I'm leaving in the morning.
Nonsense. Where are your bags?
Downstairs in the car.
Miss Drake, what about that shipment to Los Angeles?
Take it up with the transportation. Oh, Briggs, tell Pettigrew to get Mrs. Brown's bags. You're coming out to the house to stay with me tonight.
Oh, I can't.
Nonsense. We'll have a beautiful old-fashioned visit. I won't be 5 minutes. Briggs, take Mrs. Brown down to my car.
San Francisco calling.
Oh, San Francisco. Put them on. Hello? Isn't this exciting?
No, of course not. Send him in later. Hello.
Good afternoon, miss.
Will you take Mrs. Brown up to my room?
Yes, miss.
I won't be a second, dear. All right.
This way, please, madam.
So you've been fighting again?
No, ma'am.
Didn't you promise me to stay out of those preliminaries at the stadium?
This was no preliminary. This was a main event.
Do you want to be on your heels when you're 30? And blind like the rest of those pork and bean fighters?
Guy made a crack I didn't like.
What did he say about me?
Oh, it wasn't about you.
Now listen, Puggy. Things people say about me don't bother me. Thanks just the same.
What a pretty...
Hello, Prince. You must relax, Miss Drake. All right, I'll try. Della.
Yes.
Della, will you telephone the factory and tell Mr. Pettigrew that I'll handle that Ajax glass contract myself in the morning?
Very well.
You really must relax, Miss Grace.
Here come lemon or cream, madame?
Cream and 2 sugars, please.
Cream and 2 sugars. My, you're a reckless woman. No wonder you look happy.
Yes, I'm afraid marriage agrees with me. But come, you haven't yet told me what I want to hear.
What?
Any romance in the offing?
Romance? Me? Haven't got time.
Aren't you ever going to fall in love?
It's a career in itself. Takes too much time and energy. To me, a woman in love is a pathetic spectacle. She's either so miserable that she wants to die, or she's so happy you want to die.
Aren't you ever going to marry?
No thanks, not me. You know, a long time ago, I decided to travel the same open road that men travel. So I treat men exactly the way they've always treated women.
You evidently have much respect for men.
Oh, of course, I know for some women, men are a household necessity. Myself, I'd rather have a canary.
My, but you've changed, Allison. You're not the same girl I knew in school. Why, you used to be so romantic and so, well, so different.
You mean I've grown hard and cynical?
Something like that.
Oh, well, perhaps you're right. But, darling, you can't work with men for 14 hours a day for 5 years and not lose your girlish illusions.
Well, if it does all that to you, why did you go into the business in the first place?
Necessity. Because when Father died, I was the only one who knew anything about it. And now here I am. I can't let go. It's like holding a tiger by the tail. Oh, but I love it, the battling and the excitement. I don't think I could do without it now.
But you're missing so much, Allison. The real things, the...
You mean men?
Yes.
Oh, I see lots of men. But I've never found a real one. Oh, give me a cap. Harriet, have some more tea.
Coffee, madam?
Not for me.
Coffee, sir?
Thanks.
Is there anything else, miss?
Thanks, I'll ring.
Very good, miss.
Cigarette, Harriet?
No, thanks. Well, I know you two want to talk business. Besides, it's 9:30 and I promised to call my husband. Good night, Mr. Cooper.
Good night.
Good night, Allison.
Good night, dear. See you in the morning.
All right.
You know I love to talk, Dick.
Indeed, I will.
Nice girl, Harriet. Goes to bed early. More coffee?
No thanks.
Are you sure?
No more, please.
Music. Isn't it lovely?
It certainly is.
When we're alone.
About my scheme, Miss Drake. I think the greatest way to boost sales would be a series of pep meetings in all our branches throughout the country. You see, when I was in college, we used to have these big pep meetings before every football game.
I might have known you were a football player.
Why, yes, I played my freshman year, and I made the varsity my sophomore year.
Really?
Yes. You see, the psychology of these pep meetings is to work up enthusiasm.
Are you naturally enthusiastic?
Oh, I have the loveliest room. Yes. No, darling, it's not raining here. What? Your underwear? Well, I didn't know it was going to turn cold. Now, don't forget to de-ice the icebox. And take your mineral oil every night. Yes, I'll tell her. I don't want to disturb her now. She's downstairs at a conference.
Gee, I can't quite figure you out. At the office, you're so strict and all business kind of. I mean, entirely mental.
But you wouldn't want me to be entirely mental all the time, would you?
No, I guess you have to relax once in a while. But I can't get used to seeing you this way.
What way?
So human.
Oh, I'm really quite human. You'd be amazed.
Gee, at the office, you're certainly pretty tough. Everybody's scared of you.
Oh, but that's at the office. You're not scared of me now, are you?
No, I should say not. Maybe I shouldn't bother you with my sales promotion plan tonight.
Some other time. Don't you think?
Time for the vodka.
Take my hand.
Thank you.
Vodka? That's a Russian hooch, ain't it?
It is a devastating Russian liqueur.
What's she putting that out for?
It was the custom of Catherine the Great to serve vodka to her soldiers to fortify their courage.
General Motors, 2358. Just a minute. I'll call you back. All right? Goodyear, 25.7/8. Steel, 52 1/4. American radiator, 18 1/2. Okay.
I'm seeing the Western Electric men at 11 o'clock.
What about the Chamber of Commerce luncheon?
I'm out of town.
Market's off this morning.
Oh! Tell Chase to begin unloading my amalgamated.
Drink your coffee while it's hot, dear.
Well, Della, what's the latest bulletin on you and Henry? Have you decided to take him back?
Oh, yes, I had to. He says without me, he's like a ship tossing on a wild sea.
Well, he certainly was tossing on a wild sea the last night I saw him. Has he promised to give up drinking?
He's only going to take a little beer with his meals.
See, you wouldn't have these problems if you were a fallen woman.
Oh, Miss Ellison.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hello, Harriet.
Good morning, dear. Good-looking young men, those secretaries.
Are they?
And in your bedroom, too.
They might just as well be a couple of adding machines.
Oh, Allison, you're hopeless.
No, just resign. If you wait for me for 2 minutes while I dress, I'll drive you down.
All right, dear. You mean you've started your business day already?
Oh, I was getting a lot of work done before breakfast.
You worked so late last night. That business conference. Where do you get all that energy?
Ah, Cooper. Have a good time?
Why, yes, I had a very pleasant evening. Good morning.
Good morning.
A very pleasant evening.
Take a memorandum to the sales department. To stimulate sales, I would suggest sending a letter to the wife of each salesman in all our branches. You got that?
I can't go on this way.
What are you talking about?
I can't stand it any longer. Being near you all day and having you ignore me.
I'm a busy woman. I can't be annoyed with jealous or moody men about me.
But I love you.
That's enough of that. Oh, Pettigrew, make arrangements to transfer Mr. Briggs here to our Montreal office.
What?
Oh, does Mr. Briggs want to go to Montreal?
Mr. Briggs is going to Montreal.
But I don't want to go.
That'll be all. Mr. Pettigrew will arrange for your transportation. And from now on, I'll have nothing but women's secretaries.
Of course. Now, rather distracting.
Get me 2 sensible women. And it takes more than flat heels and glasses to make a sensible woman.
This looks like romance. Shall I open then?
Mr. McMillan wants to see you.
Tell Mr. McMillan I'll see him at 2 o'clock. Tell Mr. Cooper I want to see him right away.
Well, shall I have them put in water?
Just a minute. Oh, Miss Drake wishes to see me.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Well, go right ahead.
Good morning, Miss Drake. I understand you want to see me.
That'll be all, Pettigrew.
Hello, Allison.
Listen, Cooper, no more flowers. Don't get sentimental, understand?
But Allison.
Miss Drake,
But last night.
forget last night.
But out at your home,
This is my office. I'm only interested in making automobiles here. That's what you're being paid for. Is that plain?
Yes. I guess it is.
That'll be all.
I'll see you in Montreal.
You're getting to be a habit with me. Yes? Oh. Yes, Miss D. The usual amount? I'll attend to it right away. Hello, At.
Oh, Pet. What's new?
Mr. Cooper of our sales department is to receive a bonus with his salary.
Another one, huh?
Yes. Our bonus arm is growing and growing.
I'm afraid that young lady's riding for a fall.
Oh, no, not Miss D. She's a superwoman.
Super my eye.
You don't appreciate her. She's the only honest woman I've ever met. There's nothing of the hypocrite about Miss D, and that's more than you can say about the men she comes in contact with. Look at them. A pack of spineless yes-men, all after her for her money. She sees through them. That's why she tosses them aside. Just as Napoleon would have dismissed a ballet girl. Why, she's never met a man yet that's worthy of her, and she never will.
One of these days, she'll meet a man that'll knock her right on her ear.
When that happens, my friend, I'll make you a present of a pair of hand-knitted drawers.
And I suppose you'll knit them.
Yes.
Yeah.
I like that.
Oh.
It's a striking design, but is it practical?
Why, yes, I could show you.
Well, I haven't time to discuss it now. Suppose you come up to my house to dinner tonight, and we'll talk about it then.
Why, thank you very much. Thank you.
I'll race you across.
All right.
On your mark. Get set, go. Into that time.
You know, it's difficult for me to realize that I'm actually here with you.
Is it? Why?
I don't know. Most people at the factory think of you as they see you there. I never have. I've always thought of you like this.
It's very flattering that you thought of me tall.
I can't imagine you're being very much flattered.
No. Don't you know a woman's always flattered when a man thinks about her? Shan't need you any more tonight, James.
Very good, miss.
And I am a woman.
As lovely as one of those marble statues in the night.
Oh, not that one. Her position is so ridiculous.
No, I mean, so perfectly poised and cool.
Cool? That's strange. I was thinking that about you. You're a very cool young man. Have some vodka.
Oh, no, thanks. I'm intoxicated enough with the night and...
The night and what?
And the music. Oh, this is heavenly. This probably sounds foolish, but I've always felt I knew you in another incarnation.
Don't tell me you were a king in Babylon.
No, I was just a poor shepherd. And you were a goddess driving by in a golden chariot. It's too beautiful. You're so ethereal, so spiritual.
You don't know much about women, do you?
No.
Oh, it's late. I've got a lot of reading to do.
Oh, I'm afraid
How'd you like to study art in Paris?
I've always wanted to do that. I never felt I belonged in an office.
You belong in a museum.
I beg your pardon?
Nothing. You're a nice kid. You see Mr. Pettigrew in the morning, and we'll arrange about that art business.
Do you mean it? I can't thank you.
Don't thank me. Send me a postcard from Paris.
You are a goddess.
Cold and pure. I know. Well, good night, sonny boy.
You gave me such a start, Mr. Pettigrew.
Everything going all right?
Oh, yes. Thank you so much.
I made them give you a new typewriter.
Oh, you've been very considerate, Mr. Pettigrew.
It's a pleasure, Miss Frothingham. Did you find a nice place to live?
Oh, yes. A lovely little flat, way up high, with a view. Of course, it's not awfully elaborate, but it's homey.
I'm sure you'd make it that. Live with your folks?
No, I live alone.
I live alone, too.
Yes? No, Miss Drake can't be disturbed now. She's in the private dining room in conference with the department heads.
There's no use kidding ourselves. We can't send out next year's model with what we've got. We need one more feature. Something that no other car in our class will have. I'll tell you what it's going to be. An automatic gear shift.
It's a good idea, but we couldn't manufacture it for our price.
Why not?
Well, for one thing, it would take a year to develop it.
There's one already been developed. I was talking with the inventor at the Engineering Society meeting.
Who is he?
Name's Thorne.
Well, why did we hire him?
You can't. He's with Consolidated.
Get him away from him.
He's got a contract.
Well, get him anyway.
You can't break his contract.
I suppose that's never been done. Well, there are ways to get around it.
Well, it's unethical.
Unethical, my foot. What's that got to do with business? You lawyers waste more time with trick words.
I tell you, it can't be done.
Oh, that's an old song and dance of yours, Bradley. It can't be done. Well, it's going to be done if I have to get a new lawyer. Get me Judge Cuddy of Cuddy, Blair, and McNeil. Put him on my private wire. I'll show you, contract or no contract, we're going to get this man Thorne.
People want to blasted parties for, I don't know. Such language.
Well, if you had to go through what I've got to go through tonight. I detest parties. A lot of people I don't want to see, telling me a lot of things I don't want to hear.
I suppose these out-of-town dealers have to be entertained. Well, it's business.
Certainly isn't pleasure.
Ouch!
You make these other women look as if they were at a hard times party.
Oh, say it isn't so. You're looking divine tonight, darling. You really think so?
You know what I always tell people? That you're the smartest woman in America.
So what?
Well, so a lot of things. The way you run your business, for example. It's marvelous. But just the same, a woman as smart as you should...
She buy some insurance from you, is that it?
Well, I wasn't thinking of that, but now that you mention it...
Now that I've mentioned it, suppose we both forget it. How likely?
Better watch your husband.
Not my little man. He knows what he's doing.
I've been trying all evening to get you home.
Why, Georgie, you sound positively Spanish.
Perhaps I am. Allison, I'm a man of few words. Will you marry me?
Why, Mr. Mumford, this is so sudden.
Yes, I know, and it's rather wet and awkward, too. I'm in love with you. I think you're everything a woman should be.
How do you know? You've only met me in a business way.
Now, listen. It's time I settle down. I don't have to tell you how much money I've made. I sell more of your cars than any other dealer in the country. And I'm going to expand. I've got some great plans.
You sell the cars and I make them, is that it?
Exactly.
So if you married me...
It would help both of us.
I see. With my output and your distribution.
We'd sweep the country.
But you see, I'm not very fond of sweeping. I'm not a bit domestic.
Go home and get your panties, I'll go home and get my scandies, and away we'll go. Ooh. Nice party downstairs, isn't it?
What's nice about it? A lot of stuffed shirts and hypocrites, flattering, conniving, kowtowing. None of them are on the level. They all want something. I'm beautiful, I'm brilliant, I'm this, I'm that. They think I'm stupid enough to believe that stuff? Who am I?
Who? Why, you're Miss Drake.
That's just it. Miss Drake, president of the Drake Motor Car Company. That's why they bow and scrape and lie to me. Doesn't anybody like me for myself? Suppose I were nobody. What would happen?
Well, where are you going?
Out.
What's your hurry, babe?
Here's your change, lady.
One, please.
I'll take one, too. Strong, silent type, huh?
What do you want me to do, start singing?
Go ahead, don't mind me.
You shoot pretty well.
Oh, did you notice it?
Yeah. Where did you learn?
I was the Buffalo Bill once. You remember me, the cowgirl with the long blonde curls?
I didn't recognize you without your horse.
Poor old Dobbin. There was a wonderful horse and a true pal. Do you believe that the horse is man's best friend?
Oh, there's no doubt about it.
You ever stop to think what we owe to the horse?
Well, I can look any horse in the eye and tell him I don't owe him a cent.
I had a horse once.
Now see what you've done. Pardon.
Thank you. You must come up and see me sometime.
Where do we go from here? Awfully lonely to spend your evening in the shooting gallery.
Nothing else to do. I just landed in town. I don't know anybody here. Besides, shooting galleries are an old weakness of mine. I used to work in one once.
Really?
Yeah. For a whole year, when I was a kid.
Tell me more about you.
Listen, what's the idea of all these questions? You working for the government?
Just trying to get acquainted. What's your name?
Ah, you're too fresh. Eat your sandwich.
You know, every time I eat a hamburger, I think about my horse.
Why, does your horse like hamburgers?
Born there. He was insane on the subject. Well, he'd eat 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 hamburgers in a row. And you know that's a lot of hamburgers for one horse.
Yes, well, I think I'm going to let you two horse lovers settle this thing between yourselves. Good night and pleasant dreams.
Hey, wait a minute. Where are you going?
Now listen, you've had a big evening. I took you dancing and bought you an elegant supper. Now you get on your bicycle and pedal along wherever you're going.
I'm going with you.
Oh, no. You're a nice kid, but I don't take pickups home with me. Understand? Good night.
Must be something wrong with your technique, dearie.
Oh, shut up.
Oh, my. Say, what is this? Are you following me around?
Can't help myself. You're so irresistible.
You work here?
Yeah, do you?
Uh-huh. I just started today. What department are you in?
Pickup department.
Enjoy your work?
Wonder how long you'll keep your job here.
Well, I've got a 2-year contract. Not that it's any of your business.
No?
Here are those blueprints you wanted, Mr. Thorne.
Oh, thanks very much.
Thorne! Is that who you are? The automatic gearshift genius.
Listen, I told you last night you were too fresh.
Mr. Thorne is here.
Oh, yes, yes. Send him in.
This is getting to be a gag. Say, you better get out of that chair before the boss comes in. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on.
Sit down.
Baby, you certainly are fresh.
What message have you for Mr. Lawson?
Well, there's a director's meeting on the 13th, and I want him here.
But he sailed for England.
Well, telephone his hotel in London.
Shall I sign these, Miss Drake?
Yes, I want him to go airmail tonight. Sit down.
Miss Drake,
I sent for you because I want to get started right away. How soon can you let me have a working model?
Well, that depends. First, I'd like to go over my design with you.
Well, I haven't got time to talk about it now. Come to my house to dinner tonight and we can discuss it then. 7:30. Is that understood?
Yeah, oh, yeah. I've put the clutch here. You see the advantage of that? Do you see the advantage of that?
What?
I was explaining about the clutch.
Oh, the clutch, of course. I was thinking about something else.
Vodka again?
I should say vodka, very definitely.
Six. 7. Now, the rear axle is 3/4 floater, equipped with tapered roller bearings of excess radial load and thrust capacity.
Doesn't vodka affect you at all?
No. Well, not very much.
But most men, vodka, you know, would...
Oh, well, I was in Russia once on an engineering job. We used to brush our teeth with it there.
Russia? How interesting. I do wish you'd tell me about it.
Say, are you bored with all these engineering details?
Bored? Of course I'm not bored. Perhaps I'm not just in the mood for blueprints tonight. Suppose you leave them here and I can look them over later.
Very well. Now, here's to the new model Drake.
Oh, no. No, let's forget about automobiles tonight. Here's to you.
And to you. Eat. You know, you're a very amazing person.
Because I run a factory?
No, because you forget so completely running a factory.
You mean because I become so completely a woman?
Yeah, that's it.
You know, very few people have the intelligence to realize that. They confuse the two things so hopelessly.
Oh, very few people have the advantage of first meeting you in a shooting gallery as a pickup, and then having drinks with you in a 10-cent a dance palace. I found out quite a bit about you.
You know, I needed you that night. I needed to have someone accept me as plain woman.
You resented it a little.
You know, you have a perfectly charming smile.
Now, about this clutch, there are one or two things...
I think the reason that I resented it was because you refused to take me seriously. You were amused.
What did you expect?
Oh, I don't know quite. But I think if you'd said, come here and yanked me into a corner and kissed me, I'd have been terribly grateful. Would have made me feel more sure of myself. That someone wanted me for what I am, without all this.
Well, I can't imagine you're being unsure of yourself.
Can't you?
No. A girl who works 12 or 14 hours a day in an office making rapid-fire decisions isn't very apt to become unsure of herself just because she's left her office.
You're terribly wrong.
It's excellent vodka.
I'm so glad you like it.
Well, there's just one more point now about these blueprints that I want to show you here.
Oh, we were forgetting business so beautifully. Must you talk about automobiles?
Yes.
I thought engineering was a profession, not an affliction.
All right. We'll talk about it tomorrow at the factory. Well, let's be going.
Oh, but it's really quite early. Besides, you must have another drink.
No more vodka.
Oh, but you wouldn't leave me all alone, would you? Come, sit down here. I want you to talk to me.
About what?
About me.
Oh, I see. Well, you may be president of the Drake Automobile Company. But I was engaged as an engineer, not as a gigolo. And I'm not holding my job by humoring any little whims of yours.
I assure you, this is not a little whim.
And hereafter, when you want to talk business, you can see me at the factory.
You're very rude.
I'm very sorry. Good night, Miss Drake.
Every kiss, every hug seems to act just like a drug. You're getting to be. Good morning, Miss Frothingham.
Oh, good morning, Mr. Pettigrew.
Well, you are looking radiant this morning.
What an intoxicating perfume. Is it Galin's breath of love?
No, passion flower number 2.
It's delicious. Have you changed your mind about coming up to my flat to see my pictures?
Oh, I really shouldn't. Oh, I made a mistake.
It's encouraging to know that you do make mistakes.
Oh, Mr. Pettigrew.
How's her disposition this morning?
Terrible. I don't know what's the matter with her lately.
Is she alone?
No, the detective's in there.
Detective?
Tuesday night. Thorne had dinner alone from 7:10 to 8:20 at the athletic club. Walked home alone and went to bed. Also alone. Wednesday night, 7 to 8:45. Thorne had dinner at the Red Onion Cafe with Miss Joyce.
Who?
Miss Joyce, his secretary. Afterward, attended performance of James Cagney and Picture Snatcher at the Lyric Theater. Thorne then drove girl to her apartment.
And?
Remained 5 minutes in vestibule. Then drove home alone.
That's enough.
You want me to continue the investigation, Miss Drake?
No, that's all. See Mr. Pettigrew about your fee.
Yes, ma'am.
knew you'd forget it. So I bought this for you on the way down.
Thank you. You're spoiling me.
Good morning.
Morning.
Pardon me, please. McKay isn't satisfied with the new clutch action. I'd like to see a blueprint.
All right. Made another adjustment yesterday. Yeah.
I think you'll have to increase the tension of the pressure plate springs.
I've already done that. But you'll probably get a better idea from the working model.
I'd like to see a test run as soon as possible. Tonight at 8 o'clock.
All right. I'll have them run it for you.
I want you there.
Sorry. Can't make it.
Why not?
I have an engagement.
Break it.
I can't. It's with a lady.
It doesn't make any difference?
Oh, yes, it does.
That blonde stenographer of Thorne's, I want her discharged immediately.
Certainly, Miss D.
Now, wait a minute. I've got a better idea. Keep her working tonight. You give her enough copying to do to keep her here until 12 o'clock.
Yes, Miss D.
Never mind. Leave the girl alone. What's happened to me? I'm getting petty. Look here. What kind of a woman do men like? How do they want them to act?
Well, that depends. A man of Jim Thorne's type, for example, wants a woman who will look up to him. Gentle, feminine, someone he can protect. That's because Jim Thorne is strong and rather primitive, perhaps. The dominant male, my dear.
Gentle and feminine, eh? So that's what they want. Well, we strive to please.
Hello, Jim. Well, busy?
This time I think we've got it.
Have we? Good. By the way, Jim, there's something I want to ask you. Now, don't say no before you think this over. Late this afternoon, the heads of the departments and their families are having a picnic out at Belle Isle. And we're particularly anxious you should be there.
A picnic?
Of course, I know you consider it vanity and all that sort of thing. But just at this time, it's very necessary that we have an informal get-together.
Well, I'm afraid that...
You won't have to stay long. Just make an appearance. It'll mean a good deal to the company. I hope we can come.
Well, if that's the case, I suppose I'll have to go.
Fine.
What is this, a frame-up?
A frame-up? Well, I don't know what you mean.
Well, where's the employees' picnic? Am I the only employee invited?
Oh, didn't they tell you? Oh, that's too bad. It was called off. So I decided to have a picnic by myself.
Well, I hope you enjoy yourself. Good night.
Oh, Mr. Thorne, would you mind helping me light this fire before you go? I don't seem to be able to.
Oh, all right.
Oh.
no trick for you at all, is it? Have you lived much in the open?
Yes, and I should have stayed there.
Yes, you did tell me that you had a camp in the Adirondacks, didn't you? Must be lovely there. I can't think of anything that compares with a meal cooked over a campfire. Can you? Oh, I must make some coffee.
You should have brought your butler and your chef along.
Oh, no. That's just the point. I want to get away from everything civilized. Isn't this a heavenly spot? I must get some water for the coffee. There's a spring right back there through the woods.
Well.
Oh, I wonder if you'd mind very much watching that. I won't be a minute. Oh, what's that?
Oh, it's an owl. Give me that thing.
Still angry with me for having tricked you into coming out here?
I was at first. Why did you do it?
Oh, I don't know. But we had such fun the night we met at the shooting gallery. And then when you found out who I was, we didn't have a good time together anymore. Do you realize that we haven't mentioned the factory or the business once we've been here?
Do you realize that I know you as four entirely different people? The girl at the shooting gallery, she was amusing. And the girl at the factory.
Tell me about her.
Well, she's a very efficient, capable sort of thinking machine.
Oh.
And the girl at your house that night for dinner. Didn't like her.
Why not?
Well, perhaps because I'm a man and I prefer to do my own hunting.
Oh.
And the girl you are here tonight.
Which one do you like best?
This one,
Which one do you think's real?
this one.
Good morning, Allison.
Hello, Tom.
You're looking fresh as a rose this morning.
You put that in writing?
52, 47, 45. Oh, dear, I hardly know what I'm doing. Hello? No, Miss Drake notified him yesterday the director's meeting's at 2:30 sharp.
Hey, give me a hand, will you? Thanks.
Well, have you found it?
I've only got two hands, haven't I?
I can't wait all day for it.
I swear. Here it is. Hello? No, Miss Drake can't attend to that today. All right.
Did you have an appointment?
No.
Oh, wait a minute.
Hello. I'll finish that later. Put my call through to New York, will you? That'll be all. That'll be all. Yep. Oh, hello, Mr. Breyer. Huh? Oh, suppose they do get tough. We can be tough, too. All right, don't be late.
I've been down to the city hall.
They smoke the worst cigars in the city. What are you doing in the city hall?
Very important business. Look, look. What do you think of that?
Well, it's a marriage license.
Haven't you heard? You're about to become Mrs. Thorne. Come on, get your hat.
Oh, Jim, you're not serious about that, are you?
What do you mean?
Well,
Well, wait a
after all-
minute. Let's get this thing straight. Are you telling me you won't marry me?
Well, I never thought of such a thing.
Then last night didn't mean anything to you.
Oh, of course it did. But, well, marriage isn't for me, for us. After all, we can be so happy as we are. Don't let's spoil everything.
Then you don't love me.
Oh, Jim, you're being unreasonable.
I'm just one of the boys, is that it?
Don't be absurd. You're being old-fashioned.
Is it old-fashioned to want to be decent?
Oh, let's not.
I suppose you think you're too superior for marriage. And love and children, the things that women were born for. Say, who do you think you are? Are you so drunk with your own importance you think you can make your own rules? Well, you're a fake. You've been playing this part so long you've begun to believe it. The great superwoman. Cracking your whip and making these poor fools jump around. You and your new freedom. Why, if you weren't so pathetic, you'd be funny.
You better go.
Don't worry, I'm on my way. But the laugh's on me, offering a marriage license to a pickup.
New York's on the wire.
Hello.
We could go on arguing another hour and be just where we started. This company must have money.
Why not take the security trust offer?
And let them get control of Drake Motors and kick Allison out? That's what they're after. And if we accept their terms, that's exactly what will happen. They've made the other banks lay off, the commercial, the union, and the rest. This is a freeze-out.
Did you try his house?
Yes, he left there an hour ago with a suitcase.
Why should we sacrifice everything? What can we do? They've got us against the wall. There's nothing left but a compromise.
Wait a minute now. It just happens that Allison controls 51% of our stock.
We've been doing all the shouting, but I know you haven't been sitting there daydreaming. You're not going to give up this easily. You're too much of a fighter. It's up to you, Allison. What are we going to do?
We've got to... I can't go on. I don't belong here. This is no place for a woman. I know I've always thought I was different. I've always tried to beat life the way men beat it, but I can't. I can't. All this crazy, frantic struggle, fighting with bankers, trying to save the business, what's it to me? You do what you like with it, I don't care.
That's right, my dear. Have a good cry. It's just what you need. Of course, I've been expecting this for some time. It's only natural. You couldn't go on as you had been, living on your nerves, running this big business all by yourself. You're just a woman, after all. This job was too much for you. I don't wonder you quit.
What are we going to do?
Gentlemen, I apologize. Please forget that ever happened.
We can't compromise.
Now you're talking.
If the bankers in this town won't play ball, there are bankers that will. I'll go to New York tonight. I've never failed to get money yet. I want to talk to George Barclay, the State National Bank in New York. Oh, get me police headquarters. Switch them on to my private office. Hello.
Miss Drake, we got a line on that party. He left town 3 hours ago in a gray Packard Roadster. License X4878. Heading east on the number 9 highway.
Call Puggy. Tell him to fill the gas tank for a long trip.
But you're leaving tonight on the Century for New York.
I'm not going to New York.
But my dear, the most important appointment of your life. With those bankers at 4 tomorrow.
No, Petty, there's something much more important than that.
But you must be there. If you don't get that loan, the company... Think of what you're doing.
Too late for that.
Miss Dean, you can't do this.
Move over. We're going faster than you know how to drive.
Have you lost your mind?
Yes.
I'm sure it was him. He stopped here for gas.
Which road did you take?
He turned right towards Mapletown.
Better let me take it.
That's the man you're after, all right. I give him his breakfast. He had fried eggs and bacon. And
How long ago?
just after we opened up, I should say.
About an hour ago.
No such thing. That was the man that had ham and eggs.
Bacon and eggs.
The man in the gray car, how long ago did he pass?
An hour ago.
Jim. Jim. Jim, I can't go on without you. I'm not playing a part. I'm not a superwoman. But just... They're going to take the business away from me. I was to meet the bankers in New York at 4 o'clock this afternoon, but I couldn't go. I had to find you. Oh, Jim, take me wherever you're going. I'll marry you if you still want me to.
What time did you say you had to meet those bankers this afternoon?
At 4 o'clock, but it's too late now.
No, it isn't. We'll catch a plane at Hopeville. Come on.
Hey, wait! You forgot your prize!
Oh, thank you.
Goodbye, Lulu.
We're going to make it. I'd like to see anybody take that business away from you.
Somebody already has taken it away from me.
Who?
You. You're going to run it from now on. I never want to see that factory again.
What about you?
Oh, didn't you know? I'm going to have 9 children.
That all?